This is the third time recording this video. I'm quite embarrassed to admit that I started each video saying this video could go 10, 20 minutes long, and each time it's been about 25 minutes. I know nobody's going to listen to it for 25 minutes, so I'm going to really condense it down as best as I possibly can. Okay, so here goes. PMD56 update. I am really confused with this one. Citizen sent me an email and said that the guy in their workshop is repairing it right now as we speak. And then it went back a stage and it said it's now awaiting parts again. So I'm now thinking, does that mean that the guy who's fixing the watch has damaged it again and it's needing new parts? Or has he realised that more parts were needed? I'm totally confused. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what comes of this one. I was really hoping the watch would have been back with me by now. It's been a couple of weeks. Okay, some of this video might get slightly philosophical. I know some people hate that. I did get some pretty mean comments last time. So if that isn't your thing, feel free at this point to click off the video. If you want to hang around, please do. Just before I jump onto the philosophical side of things, just want to make a quick point because I just happen to love Casio. I really do. They're probably one of my favourite watch brands. You're looking at the F91W here, and this one is the W217H. Now, when most people graduate university, they normally, you hear about people buying a Rolex. I bought myself an F91W, and this is the original battery. I graduated in 2014. This has been running on the original battery since 2014. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The only thing I've done is replace the strap because the strap broke about 5.5 years in. I did wear this watch on and off for about a year, maybe 2 years. So I did get to use the battery. I did get to use the light, stopwatch, alarm. As I say, 7 years later, it's still going. It's just a testament, really, to Casio. I'm hoping this watch here, the W217H, will give me the same sort of longevity. I've got no reason to believe it won't. I reckon this is going to last quite a long time. And to be honest, if I wasn't tracking calories with a fitness watch, I would probably be wearing this 24/7. I have been wearing this for the past week or two, and it's really hard not to fall in love with this one. I really do have a lot of time, no pun intended. I've got a lot of time for this watch because it just, I think it's something I want to achieve in my life. The minimalism aspect, where you're not, and this is where the video gets philosophical, because I think what this stands for, and so does the F91W, but especially this watch, I think it stands for minimalism. Now, minimalism is the opposite of consumerism to me. Consumerism is going out constantly buying things, oftentimes things that we don't need. The F91W and the 217H, they're almost a middle finger to consumerism and saying, hey, we don't need to constantly be buying your products. Your planned obsolescence. Do you remember the problem with Apple where they would slow down your phone with an update? And they said, hey, we're not doing it. We're not doing it to slow down your phone. Honestly, we're just doing it to save your battery life. Come on, guys, really? You were doing it to slow down the phone because you wanted people to think, oh, my phone's old, it's slow, it's laggy, I'm going to buy a new one. And herein lies the problem. This is where we open up, we free our minds, and we just get philosophical for a second. As consumers, I think we buy things, me included. I don't mean to sound preachy, me included. We buy things because we think they're going to make us happy. And we do get an adrenaline rush, we get a dopamine hit. I've talked about this before. We order something in the mail, it arrives, you know, you check the tracking number. Oh my God, it's in Japan, it's in China, it's coming across the ocean, it's landed, it's in Europe, it's on the way over to the UK, in my case. It finally gets here. And then once you open it up, the excitement's there, the buzz, you've opened up the parcel. And you might have a honeymoon period with the watch, or whatever you've purchased. But then suddenly that goes away. And you find yourself back on the site again. You're thinking, oh, maybe I'll order something else, because you want that same dopamine hit. And when you start to look into how the brain works and how your body gets used, your brain gets used to that process, it actually, it gets a lot deeper than this, which we're not really going to talk about too much on the video. It's something I'm still researching in the background, because I think it's fascinating how essentially it's an addiction. You can form an addiction, and some people, let's stick to watches as this is predominantly a watch channel, some people actually get addicted to watches. It's not just a case of they enjoy watches, but they are now addicted. And I think at that point for them, it stops becoming a hobby. It's more of it's an addiction, and it's something they want to kick the habit and get out of. I think I was going down that route. I was trying to fill the void in my life, whatever that void might be. I was trying to fill it with watches, that consumerism. It wasn't, some people might buy trainers, sneakers, mobile phones, cell phones, whatever you want to call them. Me personally, it was watches. Now, does that purchase make me happy temporarily? And I think the key, I was talking to a friend about this earlier today, and it prompted this video. I think sometimes, he said in his words, we compartmentalize our lives. You know, we work, we come home, we order a product. We kind of like that saying, we eat, sleep, repeat. Or there's a take on it with the gym. You eat, sleep, gym, repeat. Or eat, gym, sleep, repeat. It's something like that. You get the idea. And I think that's what we do. We get in a pattern, kind of formulaic. And, you know, I've heard of people buying sports cars. It's quite a regular thing. Guys buy sports cars or motorbikes, you know, that kind of midlife crisis thing. And we all do it because at the core, we think it's going to make us happy. And to some degree, it might do. But is it a long-lasting happiness? Is the actual happiness really a kind of a feeling that we need from within? We need to be happy with ourselves. 2021 has taught me something in quite a painful way. I don't want to dwell on it too much. It's a long story, but I had a 12-month relationship. I was infatuated with this woman. Sorry to get soppy on you guys, but I really love this woman. I give her everything in terms of my time, my emotions, everything. And she cheated on me 3 times that I know of. And it sent me into a downward spiral, really, quite depressed, feeling sad and beating myself up when it wasn't my fault. I wasn't the one who did these actions. And what I actually learned from this, when I taken a step back, and it took me several weeks really to figure out how I felt about this and what was going on, is that I was relying on someone else for my own happiness. And that's a bad thing. You need to find happiness for yourself. If you rely on someone else for your happiness, or some other thing, it doesn't have to be another person. If you rely on a product for your happiness, that's not a good thing. You can't rely on that. Something you can rely on is yourself. And I think that's my main takeaway for 2021. Rely on yourself, because you've always got yourself. You can't always rely on family, even friends, work colleagues. Even though these people are maybe really important in your life, the main person you have to rely on, you can rely on, is yourself. And if you can make yourself happy, not through buying products, not through relationships, friendships, if you can make yourself happy, that's worth its weight in gold, guys. Going to end the video here because we've just run over 10 minutes. I could easily take this to 20, 30 minutes, but I kind of want to... I don't want to go on and on and on. I want to kind of keep this short and concise. If you've got any opinions, how can you make yourself happy? What makes you happy? Go into a club, etc., etc. I don't want to go too long. We could talk about this all day. But let me know your thoughts. Really interested to hear them, as always. I pray that the Citizen PMD56 will be with me in the coming week. I hope. We'll see. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in that video when it eventually gets here. Okay, guys, have a fantastic rest of the week. And yeah, I will see you in the next one.